Joining us now is Tibor Nagy, former Assistant Secretary of State for Africa and former U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia. Ambassador, great to have you with us.
And thanks so much for having me, Linda.
So this grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is now fully operational, becoming the largest hydroelectric facility in Africa after nearly 15 years in development. What does this achievement mean to the people of Ethiopia, both in terms of everyday life and long-term development?
It's a huge achievement because it, in effect, is going to double the amount of electricity that's available for the people of Ethiopia. Right now, I mean, Ethiopia is the second most populous country in Africa, and out of the 120 million people, it's estimated that there's about 60 million currently who do not have access to electricity. And so hopefully this will bring electricity to just about everybody in the country.
Yeah, life-changing. And what makes this project particularly remarkable is how it was funded. It wasn't through foreign loans or donors, but almost entirely by the Ethiopian people, an estimated $5 billion. How unusual is that, in your experience, for a major infrastructure project of this scale to be financed domestically in Africa?
Very, very unusual. I mean, you know, we know there's the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative and other countries that do major infrastructure projects and usually involve, you know, multilateral donors and loans and things like that. But it is remarkable for the Ethiopian people to pay for this themselves, both the people inside Ethiopia and then, of course, the huge diaspora. So it is something to be extremely proud of.
Yeah. And no project, of course, of this magnitude comes without controversy. Ethiopia's upstream position on the Nile has sparked concerns among downstream neighbours, especially Egypt and Sudan. Just explain those core issues for us.
Yeah, historically, Egypt held all the cards. It was basically that Egypt gets to decide, you know, 100% usage of the Nile. And there's two Niles. A lot of people may not know that, the blue and the white. The blue coming from Ethiopia carries about 80% of the water. And here's the interesting thing. Egypt does not put one drop of water into the Nile, but historically it had all the cards and how it was used. The power dynamics have really changed. And now the upriver countries have basically decided that they also should have their say. So the old treaties that go back to, I believe, 1902 have now been abrogated by this new Nile Basin Cooperative Framework Agreement, which the upriver countries have all signed on to, but Sudan and Egypt have not yet signed on to.
Yeah, certainly they are raising their concerns. Do you believe that the US should take a stronger stance in mediating the dispute here? Is it best left to regional actors like the African Union?
I think that it's best to leave it up to basically Sudan, Egypt, and Ethiopia to come up with a deal, because whenever an outside force tries to put their thumb on the scale, then it ends up just delaying an agreement, which is going to have to come, you know, whether Egypt wants it or not, but it has to come.
Yeah. And just finally, what are the biggest opportunities for US and Ethiopia and economic cooperation in the next 10 or 15 years?
Wow. You know, Ethiopia is probably one of the countries in Africa with the greatest potential. Right now, they have extremely serious domestic issues. Once they are resolved, Ethiopia could launch very quickly to be a middle-income country. And it is the key country in the Horn of Africa for future prosperity and stability. So very much in the U.S. interest to cultivate them as a long-term partner.
Ambassador Tibor Nagy, great to have you on the program to get your perspective. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, Linda. All the best.
You too.